What's up, everyone? How's it going today? Let's go ahead and get straight into this daily recap, where as you can see, I am up $21.66 on the day. If we look at my P&L calendar, that's 5 green days in a row. We're doing really well here now. And yesterday, we had my record-breaking day of a $135 green day, up 9.34% on an awesome move on UPXI. We're on a green streak of 5 days, but other than this 93-cent red day, we've been green for nearly 8 days in a row, basically an entire week, and so we're doing really well. And let's go ahead and look at my P&L since I started this small account challenge. Basically, on April 3rd is whenever I stopped using the trade simulator, and I actually got into taking 2 trades a day with my strategy. And since then, we're sitting up $427. Largest gain with the $131 winner. Largest loss only $69. Accuracy, this is a big number here, 73% accuracy. That is fantastic. I'm so happy with my accuracy in this challenge. Only 7 losing trades. Average losing trade is, it's about, I think it's like a 3-to-2 ratios, kind of what this is looking like right here. So, or like 1.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. And with 73% accuracy, that's amazing. The one thing that I don't love is my average hold time on a losing trade, 32 minutes. A lot of these numbers are skewed because I was a bag holder on one day for like 4 hours, and when I broke my rules. And so, other than that, these numbers would be a lot smaller. So, these are a little hard to look at right now. My max consecutive wins is now up to 6, with my losses only being 1, which is amazing. I'm not getting onto red streaks, I'm getting hot and getting onto green streaks. So let's go ahead and look at the trades that I took today. So this is on the 5 minute chart now, and this was sort of like a 5 minute setup. We were pulling back a little bit, and I was waiting for the first candle to make a new high over that, as well as for the break of high a day. So once I see that candle start to turn green and the volume come in, I buy right there, and then we squeeze up a little bit more, about 2 cents past high of day, and I was looking for it to hold this level. This is kind of a breakout or bailout situation. If we didn't get a nice clean break early, I was going to be out of this trade real quick. But after about 15 seconds of kind of bouncing back and forth on it, we end up getting a pretty nice squeeze on it. Let me speed this up a tiny bit. So as you're going to see, we squeeze. It did consolidate for a little bit, pulls back, and then right here, we're able to rip through. Right there, we're able to rip through. And now that was about a 5% move from my entry. Hadn't taken any profit yet, because one thing that I really liked about this trade was we had room all the way up to about $3 to our next level of resistance. So I was still going to watch the price action and the level 2 data over here just to see how everything was moving. Because obviously, if something's slowing down and we're pulling back a little too much, I need to take my profit and get out of the trade, which is something that I kind of wish I did better here. I'm able to wait a little bit, and I end up taking my first profit. It looks like all the way up at, let's see, right there's where I take my first profit at around 2.42. So almost 10 cents a share. It's not bad, especially on a stock that's $2. I was able to take a relatively large position, at least for my account size, uh, in regards to the share quantity. And so then we start to pull back a little bit more here. And so I go ahead and exit the trade. It dips down more, and eventually it ended up ripping a little bit more. So that was my first trade of the day, up $23.44. I wish I had done a better job at taking my profit. Again, that's one of the main things that I'm focusing on right now, is taking good setups, managing my risk, cutting my losses, and then taking profits and figuring out when to pull out of my trades and take what's on the table. So after that, we get BCTX popping up, or honestly, it didn't even pop up, and this was my mistake of the day. It's like, yesterday was great, but other than that, I can't really go the full day of a trade without making a dumb mistake. So let me go ahead and find where I took that trade on BCTX. So right in here, BCTX gets news of enrollment pace accelerating in their phase 3 clinical trial study. It was for breast cancer. And so that's obviously pretty solid news. All I saw was the phase 3, and I immediately jumped in, which is something that I'm not ever going to do again, because as we can see here, it did not work out for me. I don't know why I did that. That has nothing to do with my strategy. Yeah, the stock criteria was all met, low flow, right within my price range. There was a catalyst. The only thing that wasn't there yet was the volume, and we're going to see that's what ends up really hurting me is because we didn't have volume. I end up taking a position right at the top, and then we drop down, and you can see on this level 2 data, there's no volume at all. And now I'm pretty much in the, I mean, I'm pretty deep into the hole on this trade, and I stay in the hole for the remainder of the pre-market session. And I hold this position all the way from, I guess, about 6:30 until a little bit into market open. So we're gonna see where I end up selling my position. I can skip all the way ahead, and I end up just taking profit periodically because we did end up making a push back up to where I took my entry at, and I end up nevertheless breaking even on this trade. And so, well, yes, I'm glad that this didn't go bad. It definitely could have. I have to wait for volume to come in, and I have to wait for a setup that I like in order to enter a trade, a setup that I can manage my risk on as well. And so, not happy with the way that I took this trade, but at least now I know in my brain, whenever I see good news of like a phase 3, yada da da da, anything clinical trial, I know, okay, I'm gonna be a little spastic to jump into this because I know that there's good news. So I just need to slow it down and wait for the setup and wait for the volume. And if I'm able to do that, it's probably gonna come. And if it doesn't, I'll have another opportunity somewhere else. TIVC ended up popping up, and I ended up missing out on a trade that I would have really, really been able to make work if I had have just saved my capital and not used it on a trade that wasn't even there. And then also, I would even say for my trade on W and W, it's not like that was really a perfect in my strategy. I mean, yeah, there was somewhat of a little micro pullback, but realistically, I mean, this was not the price action that I'm 100% looking for. Not even to mention, the only news on it was that they regained compliance with NASDAQ's listing rules, but that wasn't even today. That happened in pre-market yesterday, or post-market yesterday in the after hours. So I want to take a look at this trade one more time just to see kind of what I did. Um, it obviously ended up working out. So you can see we popped up earlier in no, is this after hours or pre-market? I don't even know. Or yeah, I don't know. So nevertheless, we popped up, made a high of 233, and then we did have room all the way up to 3. So that's one thing I liked about the trade. We ended up fizzling off, kind of rolling over, and then here around 6 a.m. we get a nice pop, and so that pop brings us all the way up almost to the new high, and then when we're kind of slow down, we generate a little bit of a pullback here, and this is a solid setup. I mean, this is a micro pullback setup, and it's the first candle to make a new high, but I will say I don't like taking trades right into resistance. So this was a little risky because whenever you take a trade into resistance, you're kind of risking the fact that it could just reject off of that level and it may not break through. And this one, it was close. It definitely consolidated for a little bit as we saw. It was not like a clean, right as I enter, it pushes through. It took about 30, 45 seconds for me to be in the green on the trade. So uh, that's another thing is I don't want to take a trade right as we hit the break through the resistance level. Sometimes that's okay to do, but that's a little bit more risky, and it definitely takes more intuition and I guess just understanding of how the order book interacts and everything in regards to that. So that's something that I definitely want to stay away from, at least for now, is I don't want to take trades into resistance or right as we break the resistance, because oftentimes we may break it by 2 cents or so, and then we reject down. So I'm looking for nice micro pullbacks that happen basically nowhere near resistance or after we've proven that the resistance is now support. And so if we had broken over that and then popped up to around $2.40, and then we kind of are just like teetering on it, and then we show that that's obviously support now, and then we push back up, that's a great opportunity to buy. So I don't want to buy before I know that the previous resistance is now support. In other words, I don't want to buy if we're close to resistance. And so that taking profits and just only taking my setups and managing my risks, those are going to be my main focus points coming into tomorrow's session. Obviously, I'm happy with the day, up over $20. Another green day. Really, really thankful for how things are going, especially considering I'm not even doing things perfectly. I mean, I have 73% accuracy, and I have not been trading my strategy perfectly. I've not been managing my risk as well as I need to, and my psychology definitely has not been completely on. I've taken some, not really revenge trades, but just taken some trades that weren't really there, whether that's due to FOMO or, I mean, maybe it is revenge trading. So, nevertheless, I'm really happy with how my progress has been, and I know that I can continue to do what I've been doing, and even better if I just keep waiting for the right setups because they were there today, and I just wasn't able to capitalize on them because of me messing around with BCTX. And so, I think that's all for the day. I'll be here bright and early tomorrow. Again, let's take a look at my P&L. $21.66 on the day, and on the week, we're up over $150 now. My best week that I've had. I mean, it was my best week that I've had just with Monday's trading session. But uh, I would love to make over $200 this week of trading, possibly even more. We'll just see. Depends what the market gives me. I'm not going to force anything. Now on the month, we're sitting up 395 bucks. It's really, really incredible. I'm very happy with the progress that I've been seeing. And so with that being said, I'll be here bright and early tomorrow, ready to take the best setups, trade the most obvious stocks, and manage my risk. And I hope that y'all are going to be alongside me. So everybody have a blessed day, and I hope that your trading went well.